The Rehnquist Choice by John W. Dean. Read by Michael Rafkin.
A note to the reader. From 1969 through 1971, the period of the events in this story, I served in the Nixon administration, first as Associate Deputy Attorney General at the Justice Department, and then as counsel to the President at the White House. While I did so, Richard Nixon appointed 4 Supreme Court justices in 2 pairs, the first in 1969 and 1970, the second in 1971. I was involved in varying degrees in the process, especially the President's last selections, Lewis Powell and William Rehnquist. The story of William Rehnquist's appointment has never been told. Indeed, hardly any Supreme Court appointments have ever been open to public scrutiny. It is only thanks to Richard Nixon's taping system, the fruits of which are finally now being released to the public, that the full story of the Rehnquist selection can be revealed. Rehnquist's was a surprise appointment. At the time, he was a relatively young Assistant Attorney General from the electorally modest state of Arizona. I have some regrets about my role in this story. I have decided that the least I can do is tell it. Chapter 1. Introduction. The Backstory. The heart of the story of William Rehnquist's appointment to the Supreme Court begins on September 17, 1971, and ends with an announcement on October 21, 1971. That story begins in the next chapter. First, it is important to understand the backstory. It is well known that Richard Nixon made extraordinary use and abuse of his presidential powers. It is not widely known that those uses and abuses also related to the Supreme Court. More than any president since Franklin D. Roosevelt, he worked hard to mold the court to his political liking. That meant not only making conservative appointments, it also meant creating appointments. William Rehnquist, who would be Nixon's most important appointment, was actively involved in the efforts to create vacancies on the court while serving as an Assistant Attorney General. It is not an overstatement to say that Rehnquist, working with Nixon's Attorney General John Mitchell and others, misused the resources and powers of the Department of Justice and other executive branch agencies to literally unpack the court by removing life-tenured justices they found philosophically or politically unacceptable. It was all part of a strategy that commenced even before Nixon assumed office. Resignation of Chief Justice Earl Warren.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?